Meow.
Meow.
Good morrow, fair human.
Oh, James. Meow.
Ooh, looking snazzy.
This is my fancy man. I'm wearing the clothes that I wore to sleep last night.
Same.
I feel like a trash bag. I can't believe I have a fucking photo shoot tomorrow. We'll just see how this goes.
But the dress code was either like at the fully dressed up end or at the pajama end, so everybody's doing fine so far.
Yeah, no
There
middle
was also the option of being naked.
Ooh.
Oh well.
Didn't realise that was an option. In which case we've got Luna.
The implication was that you would be in the bath, but that was never explicitly stated.
I could do another Mr. Darcy and be like fully clothed in the bath.
Me and Bina were telling our pole instructor about how amazing you were yesterday.
Who? Sorry?
You.
Me? Why me?
Yeah.
How come? I'm flattered. How come?
I was saying that Bracken was more of a fan of putting up IKEA furniture than you.
Okay.
And how that was surprising because, like, of the way that society would see gender roles, especially given, like...
Oh, I see. Yeah, totally.
The way you look.
I'm good at moving furniture, but Bracken has the actual, like, brain to put them together.
It's a master blaster situation.
Yeah. Which is why Bracken rides around on my shoulders all the time. Directing, that's the reason I
running from Tina Turner.
Yeah, that's the reason I shaved my head, was because I got sick of them controlling my movements like Ratatouille.
Yeah, that's true. That's how it worked.
Yeah.
Hi, Megan!
Oh, shit! Megan, hi! Sorry, facial blindness. You look amazing.
Thank you. I like your new shelf.
Oh, thank you. But this
No,
was my...
Well, I mean, that's amazing. But also, did you build that shelf?
Oh, shelf. I thought you said shell.
No.
Oh.
Which shelf?
This one?
Oh, right.
Isn't it new?
Yeah, newish.
It's been a while, I guess.
Well, that's been one thing with Zoom, is that you can trick people into thinking you've redecorated by just moving your laptop like 30 degrees.
When I had my first teletherapy sessions, my therapist was like, your flat seems huge, because I moved the laptop every time. Like, once I was in my bed, once I was on my couch, once I was at my desk. And she was like, it looks different every time.
I just have no idea where you are in your house, Rory and Bracken.
We're in the den.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm so confused.
I'm sure we could give you a guided tour at some point. But we're mostly
we had
just
a guided tour once on a very long wire.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, mostly at the moment we're hanging out in either here or the kitchen, because we've got Luna, obviously, and her little leg is still recuperating. So we're trying to, like, nothing that involves her, like, trying to climb up stuff.
I have missed so much information because you have Luna now.
Oh, sorry, we're looking after her while...
Oh.
Yeah. And then,
You haven't missed that much.
No, we're looking after this little dum-dum while she, like, her leg gets better. And to keep her from like
Jumping on anything.
yeeting herself down stairwells and things.
Yeah.
Which has meant we've basically been following her around the flat for the last 2 days. Hey.
Mike, you look good.
Hey, oh, thank you very much. Everyone's looking fabulous. Hello. Fantastic. Hey, we're all brilliant.
Mike and I should start doing breakfast TV.
Very good. Oh, hi, Matt.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Malcolm. Very fancy.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, lovely people.
Oh, hey, and Nick appeared. Hello, Nick.
Megan, what's all that lovely artwork behind you? I've not seen that before.
Oh, I guess I'm facing the other direction. I just like you, Rory and Bracken. That was I've got two clowns. They were my grandfather's.
Okay,
There's a happy one and a sad one.
that's cool. Yeah, it's looking cool as well. I got that done recently.
It's just my office. You're just facing the other direction. Instead of the books, you're seeing the wall.
Yeah. Fab.
Very nice.
You all look so great. I kind of want to go put on a suit jacket just to fit in.
I know Malcolm's secret. That's secretly like an apron, like a kitchen apron.
That's still amazing. Also, Wynne, can I come over and have you cook for me whilst you're wearing that apron?
Nothing else. Sorry, I had to say that. Yeah, hopefully soon.
Yes.
Hey, Gin and Nibble.
Hello.
Hi. Mwah.
Again.
Hey, you.
Hey, lovelies. Looking very dapper, Rory.
Thank you. I was just saying before, I feel like Mike and I should be presenting breakfast television or something.
Yeah.
Like this is very like corny promo.
Can you just tell us what's coming in the next hour, Rory?
Yeah.
Yes, coming up.
Thank
Coming up
you.
next on the program, we've got Bracken Holroyd telling us about how apparently it's safe and legal to throw car batteries into the ocean.
Yeah, it's a safe and legal drill. Listen, how else are the electric eels going to get charged, okay? For the environment.
My eyes have been opened.
I feel like I just watched something where they had to charge themselves with electric eels. What was that?
Was it Crank?
It was real life.
It was a cartoon where a little girl fell into a world that was entirely populated by frogs.
Oh, that's cute.
You're in it, my love. You just won't be showing up on the gallery view.
Oh, okay. Weird.
I know. Hello, everybody. Oh.
Hey.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Good.
This is weird. This is weird. Malcolm. Malcolm, you look amazing.
Nice.
Thank you.
Stuff. Are you using it as like a drink?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think I'm drinking what you're drinking.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yes.
I've missed so much, but nothing at all.
Oh, Megan, it's so nice to see you back.
Hi, Megan.
I had to come back for today. I even took it off.
Oh.
Work.
Oh,
That's lovely.
so nice to have you here. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Matt.
Yes, hello. I couldn't miss this.
Absolutely. Hi, Nevin, Jen. Hi. Hello, Kim. Hi, Mike. Mike, you look very smart.
Yes.
Oh, so smart. So smart. Hi, Katie. Hi, Sleepy Katie.
Oh, Rory's got a dog now as well.
Rory, you've got a suit and a dog. Oh, the dog has a cone. Oh no.
Oh, no shame.
Cone of shame.
I do not like the cone of shame.
This is my attempt to game every social psychology element of the cloud simultaneously.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to go pretty well for you.
Not the cone of shame. The cone.
Oh.
Is it a feeding device? You can just kind of throw popcorn at the dog and it kind of just catches it. Cone and feeds itself.
Like one of those like whirly coin
Yeah, the
machine
coin
things. Like this. Hi, Novik. Hi, Tal. Hi, Andy.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Ash. Hi, Secret Cara. Hi, Secret Tara.
Yes, Kim.
Yes, Kim. This is so good and nice.
This is very nice.
Hi, Nick, as well. Hello, Nick and Kate.
Oh, hey, Cara.
Hey, Cara. Looking
hey.
festive, honey pie.
Yeah, just for
Hey,
you.
Christine. Oh, this is so good. Oh, Lyric, you look great.
Oh, thank you. I haven't had an excuse to wear this shirt yet since it's arrived, and it makes me so fucking happy.
It's very, very cool. I'm very excited to be reunited with Colin. It's been such a long time since Colin and I have been together. That I was delighted that he could join me here for this final party.
I'm a newbie. Who's Colin?
So this.
Good question.
Good question. Important context. This is Colin, my shirt boyfriend. Back in OG lockdown, if you can remember, back in those peculiar times, I was all on my lonesome and had nobody except 1,500 horses for about 500 miles around. So I made myself a pillow boyfriend named Colin, which was this shirt with a pillow in it, and he cuddled me and I cuddled him back. It was very nice. He took good care of me.
He did.
And he's been shamefully neglected
Oh, poor Colin.
since I got real life boyfriends.
Yes.
Sorry, Colin.
I'm not
Less
convinced
pillowy.
they're real life.
How did Colin?
I'm not convinced.
Oh, what was that, love? I missed that. Oh, I'm missing all sorts.
Lisa's dropping out, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Hey, Ainsley. Hi, Trace.
Hello.
Hey.
20 people.
20 people. Oh my god.
The camera says no.
Oh no. Oh no, camera says no.
Camera says no.
How did Colin feel about moving to Bristol?
He's pretty chill about it. He's very understanding. He's a good boyfriend. Yeah, he's a little bit kind of raggedy. There are quite a lot of like holes.
Not from Bristol.
Holes in him.
All the best boyfriends are.
That's how you know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
So who knows how long he'll last, but he's doing me well. It's nice to have him back. Would you like to wear Colin ever?
No.
I think you would look pretty cute in Colin.
Oh, hello, Ash.
Some strange kink.
Is it strange?
Can I just wear
or
your
is it
boyfriend?
Sexy.
One
Yes.
boyfriend wearing another. Frankie, you could both be inside of Colin at the same time.
Oh God!
I'm pretty sure at this point we're just describing the plot of Venom 2, but
Yes.
What of what?
Venom 2 is a very weird. So there's a Spider-Man villain where the bad guy has like an alien
boyfriend
homoerotic relationship with like an alien like suit that wears him. Or, like, wraps around him, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll send you the fanfic later.
Yeah.
Oh God!
It's even gayer than it sounds. It's a lot gayer than it sounds. Love it.
They have a long train ride tomorrow, so.
Nice. Yeah.
Perfect. Well. So everybody, Hello. Thank you for coming.
Yay.
It's potentially officially my final Storytime set. Storytime will be going on. There will be all sorts of exciting things happening. Lyric and Katie and many others are going to be at the helm of Storytime 3 days a week, and then with Poetry Saturdays still ongoing, but I'm stepping away as storyteller and from being hyper involved. So yeah, thank you for coming along and giving me this opportunity to like say goodbye. And to say thank you for like coming along all of this time, like
300 sessions or however many it's been.
Thousands and thousands. It hasn't been thousands, it has been about 300. But yeah, so I thought that how tonight would work is I have a stack of books which are my Storytime runners-up / potential titles. And I thought that I would do a very quick rundown of those, and then we'll have a poll.
Yeah.
And people can let me know which, if any, they are excited about. And the one that people are most excited about, I'll read a little bit of the start of it. And then if you like it, you know, go out and hecking find it for yourself. That is that is my plan.
An audiobook or paper book form.
Audio, yes, exactly.
Yes.
Imagine
Or join the potential future Storytime book club, which may or may not end up continuing to read these if people are enthusiastic after hearing what they're about. It might turn into one of our Tuesday to Thursday things that we do, and it could just be a regular once-a-month thing if people are enthusiastic about the idea and want to read these.
Yes, what they said. Woo! What they said. What they said. What they said.
How great would it be if you had people just like write what they thought the rest of the book was?
Oh. I'm also very here for that.
We can also do that once a month.
Did that one.
Yeah.
Took the same intro and wrote 2 different
Oh, we did
second
do
halves.
that. God, that was back in
That
the
was ages
day.
ago.
Okay, speaking of things that were ages ago and back in the day, the other thing that I would really like to do tonight is just to kind of take an opportunity to, like, for people to share some of their like kind of favorite memories of Storytime, whether it's like particular things that have happened or particular bits of books, or, you know, everyone's made a lot of connections, you know, new friends, like old friends. And I know that there have been, like, I'm aware of a whole bunch of people who have like made really kind of meaningful relationships and kind of found their people through Storytime, which I think is goddamn lovely. And like, you know, Mike with your poetry and things, and Lisa and Jonas made a baby, which was
due to Storytime.
Admittedly, maybe not quite due to Storytime, but happened very very adjacent to Storytime. So I feel confident claiming ownership of that. So yeah, like if, you know, if people have would be comfortable, anyone who would like to kind of share anything that they've found particularly special about Storytime, I would really love to hear it. So the question is, toasts and kind of sloppy reminiscing first, or book blurbing first?
Book blurbing.
Toasts first, because then if we're all weeping, we got some calming story.
That is.
Oh.
We could alternate. You could do book blurbs, then toast and read the book.
How about book blurbs? We'll do the poll. We'll keep the result of the poll secret.
Yes.
Do some toasts, and then we'll have a bit of reading at the end. How does that sound to you?
I love unnecessary suspense.
Yay!
It's very on brand.
I made. So anyway,
got a question. I have songs.
Oh,
where would you like to put them in?
Oh God.
Yes.
I mean, my immediate urge is to be like, now, right the hecking now. But I think that they're going to be so great that I would possibly like to leave them to the end of the toast section. Let's have toasts and things, and let's finish with a Jenny musical tour de force, and I'll either cry and or kind of clap in delight, possibly both, depending on what tone you've gone for, and then sort of read some pages in a potentially quite choked up and constricted voice.
Before I start weeping, which is absolutely inevitable, the theme for Storytime tomorrow, for Poetry Time tomorrow, is Storytime. So please come along and bring your poems that remind you of Storytime, any of the books that you have, that we've read, any of the feels that you felt, any of the friends that you've made. Come and, weep with me. I have a new Nikita Gill poetry book, which is all about connection and loss and friendship, and I will be reading it and weeping. So come and join me.
Read them and weep.
Great, while and bring tissues.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, right. So blurbing time. There are 10 books here, so I'm going to rattle through them relatively rapidly. I'm dropping a link in the chat, which will have a poll that you can all vote on what ones you feel more excited about. You can vote for multiple ones. I would ask that you just stick to, like, say 2 or 3. Please don't vote for like every title, because even if they do sound all appealing, because that's not going to be helpful. Help a sister out here, folks. So the link is in the chat. If it doesn't work for anyone,
let us know.
Tell Zach.
Yes.
And he'll deal with it.
Yes.
Right, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, without further ado, first on the agenda is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. It has an exciting golden starburst on the cover. It is black on the front and white on the back. Oh, what could that mean? I bought this one immediately after I first finished Night Circus. Amazon was like, you know what's basically exactly like Night Circus? This thing. And I bought it and read it. So this is the blurb. Welcome to Caraval, where nothing is quite what it seems. Scarlet and Teller have never left the tiny island of Trista, pining from afar for the wonder of Caraval, a once-a-year, week-long performance where the audience participates in the show. Caraval is magic, mystery, adventure. When the sisters' long-awaited invitations finally arrive, it seems their dreams have come true. But no sooner have they arrived than Teller vanishes, kidnapped by the show's mastermind organizer, Legend. Scarlet has been told that everything that happens during Caraval is an elaborate performance, but she quickly becomes entangled in a dangerous game of love, magic, and heartbreak. And real or not, she must find Teller before the game is over and her sister disappears forever. Ba-ba-ba. Next one.
That was Caraval.
Next one is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, the same author as Uprooted. This is not a sequel, but it is sort of stylistically and thematically very similar. Will dark magic claim their home? Miriam is the daughter of her village's moneylender, but poverty beckons as her father's too kind-hearted to collect his debts. Then Miriam hardens her own heart and takes up his work. Her success creates rumors she can turn silver into gold, which attract the fairy king of winter himself. He sets her an impossible challenge, and if she fails, she dies. Yet if she triumphs, a fate worse than death awaits. Irina's father schemes to wed her to the Tsar. However, their dashing ruler hides a terrible secret, threatening mortals and winter alike. Torn between deadly choices, Miriam and Irina embark on a quest. It's one that will encompass sacrifice, power, and even love. Now, third. I hope this is all going well because I can't hear any of you. I'm just going to forge on ahead. Next up, we have The Girl of Ink and Stars by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. Got a very nice cover. They all have very nice covers. That is how I judge books. So, forbidden to leave her island, Isabella dreams of the faraway lands her father once mapped. When her best friend disappears, she's determined to be part of the search party. Guided by an ancient map and her knowledge of the stars, Isabella navigates the island's dangerous forgotten territories. But beneath the dry rivers and dead forests, a fiery myth is stirring from its sloop. I would say that this is more of a kind of like YA, like older children's novel. Like it gets real, but it's not kind of Spinning Silver is like an adult ass book. I hope that is a helpful clarification. Next, we have something completely different from those three quite similar sounding books. This is Shades of Grey by Jasper Ford. For anyone who knows about the Air Affair, this is the same author as that series, and it's suitably madcap. Hundreds of years in the future, the world is an alarmingly different place. Life is lived according to the rule book, and social hierarchy is determined by your perception of colour. Eddie Russet is an above-average red who dreams of moving up the ladder, until he is sent to the outer fringes where he meets Jane, a lowly grey with an uncontrollable temper and a desire to see him killed. For Eddie, it's love at first sight, but his infatuation will lead him to discover that all is not as it seems in a world where everything that looks black and white is really shades of grey. I love it when they use the title in a blurb. That just, yes. I like that. This, I think, is a helpful addendum. If George Orwell had tripped over a paint pot, or Douglas Adams favoured colour swatches instead of towels, neither of them would have come up with anything as eccentrically brilliant as Shades of Grey.
That's a good thing.
It's very clever, very funny, very peculiar.
Maybe I'll read it.
You should read it.
I should
all read it. Okay. Right. Next up, Rooftoppers by Catherine Rundell, or Rundle possibly. Rundell sounds fancier, so let's go with that. This is from Katie, possibly Katie's mum. Somebody Katie adjacent sent this one to me. Malcolm read it too.
Yes, it went from Malcolm to me to my mum to you.
And it will go to somebody else after me, but it's whether it goes to, Jarl tonight before that happens. It's very cute and nice. So, Wanted, a mother. Oh. Everyone tells Sophie that she was orphaned in a shipwreck, but Sophie is convinced her mother also survived. When no one believes her, Sophie sets out to prove them wrong. On the run from the authorities, Sophie finds Matteo, a boy who walks tightropes and lives in the sky. In a race across the rooftops of Paris, will they be able to find her mother before it's too late? A beautiful story about pursuing your dreams and never ignoring a possible. Again, I think technically a children's book, but like very much for everyone, and the beginning is lovely. Next up, another sort of children's book. You may be noticing a theme.
Storytime.
I picked the same book over and over again. This is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. If you've seen the anime, it's not like that. It's not like the anime. It's a bit like the anime. It's mostly very different. How about making a bargain with me, said the demon. I'll break your spell if you agree to break this contract I'm under. I should have done a better demonic voice for that. Pretend I did it like this. In the land of Ingery, where 7-league boots and cloaks of invisibility do exist, Sophie Hatter attracts the unwelcome attention of the Witch of the Waste and is put under a curse. Determined to make the best of things, Sophie travels to one place where she might get help, the moving castle which hovers on the hills above Market Chipping. But the castle belongs to the dreaded wizard Howl, whose appetite, they say, is satisfied only by the hearts of young girls. Okay, we're on the home straight now. Next up, we have a little book that probably not many of you will have heard of. It's called Northern Lights by Philip Pullman. You know what this is about, but if you don't, that's fine. It's very good. When Lyra's friend Roger disappears, she and her demon, shut up, that's not helpful. Pantalaimon, determined to find him. The ensuing quest leads them to the bleak splendor of the north, where armored bears rule the ice and witch queens fly through the frozen skies, and where a team of scientists is conducting experiments too horrible to be spoken about. Lyra overcomes these strange terrors, only to find something yet more perilous waiting for her, something with consequences which may even reach beyond the Northern Lights. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, next up. This is a little one, it's a little tiny one. Don't be fooled by that. It's freaky as shit. So this is one of my favorite books. We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. It's a horror story. Yay! It's spooky and creepy and will make you very hungry in quite an unsettling way. Living in the Blackwood family home with only her sister Constance and her uncle Julian for company, Merricat just wants to preserve their delicate way of life. But ever since Constance was acquitted of murdering the rest of the family, the world isn't leaving the Blackwoods alone. And when cousin Charles arrives, armed with overtures of friendship and a desperate need to get into the safe, Merricat must do everything in her power to protect the remaining family. In her final, greatest novel, Shirley Jackson draws us into a dark, unsettling world of family rivalries, suspense, and exquisite black comedy. It's so good.
She wrote Hill.
She did write Hill House. Yes, she wrote The Haunting of Hill House, which is the only book I've ever, it's one of 2 books I've ever read that's freaked me out enough that I've been like scared. There's a moment in Hill House that made me go like, like as if it was a film. Very good. Okay, 2 more to go. Next, another slightly outside choice. I can never tell how many people have heard of this. It could be everyone, it could be nobody. One of those, you know? It's called Cold Comfort Farm, and it's by Stella Gibbons. It's one of the ultimate classic comic books, and it was written in 1932. When sensible, sophisticated Flora Post is orphaned at 19, she decides her only choice is to descend upon relatives in deepest Sussex. At the aptly named Cold Comfort Farm, she meets the doomed Starcadders, cousin Judith, heaving with remorse for unspoken wickedness, Amos preaching fire and damnation, their sons lustful Seth and despairing Reuben, child of nature Elphine, and crazed old Aunt Ada Doom, who has kept to her bedroom for the last 20 years. But Flora loves nothing better than to organise other people. Armed with common sense and a strong will, she resolves to take each of the family in hand. A hilarious and merciless parody of rural melodramas, Cold Comfort Farm is one of the best-loved comic novels of all time. They ain't wrong.
I get you port for toasting.
I would love port for toasting. Thanks, babe. Okay, last but not least, I hope this is all, it's not going too fast, nobody's bored, no one's died, everyone's still there. Give me a wave. Yeah.
You're speaking, Frankie. We're all happy.
Oh, you. Okay. Last one. This is, I'm going to tell you everything that it says on the front cover because I think it's good. Being, : a daring tale of a singular girl's adventure upon the high seas, Piratica, presented most handsomely by the notorious Tanith Lee. It's about pirates, mate. Artemisia Blastside, 16. Mother, deceased, killed by an untimely cannon blast. Father, tyrant. Trapped in the dreary Angels Academy for Young Maidens. Heart set on the high seas, on the blue Indies of the Caribbean, and on treasure beyond the dreams of avarice. That's not that descriptive. It's a sort of badass 16-year-old girl, remembers that her mother was a pirate and now so is she, and she sets out to reclaim the lost treasure. So there we go. Those are your 4 titles. Does anybody want to know anything more about any of them in terms of things like style or like content warnings?
Which of them do you most identify with the heroine of?
Ooh.
All of them.
Ooh. A little bit Cold Comfort Farm, because I do like organizing people. I don't feel great about that. I would much rather it was the pirate, but realistically speaking, I don't think I'm actually as badass as most of these women.
We do.
Oh.
Is the poll working? And
yeah, it seems to be fine.
Cool.
Sorry.
We wouldn't know these days, Jack. It's been a while.
What?
It's a dick joke.
Cool.
Okay. Yes, that's thank you, Mike. That is a good note about the spinning silver. The narrator does change. There's a whole bunch of characters, and a whole bunch of them have turns speaking, which I was mostly fine with, but it took a little while for me to go, oh, okay, right, these are different people. Other things, Caraval is like it's good for if you are into that genre, which is very good and fun. I don't think it's necessarily the best work of literature on this list, and it's quite kind of romance heavy. So it has, badass women solving puzzles and things, but there's also a fair allowance of kind of loving descriptions of wasp-waisted steampunk dresses and kind of dreamy boys being dreamy.
Megan says they don't understand the poll.
Oh,
what's that?
Megan, you don't understand.
I got it. I'm
you
sorry.
got it?
Old.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so y'all can feel free to vote away. You can pick 1, you can pick 2, maybe even 3. I mean, I can't stop you picking all of them, but I would take it as a great favor if you didn't.
I managed to limit myself to 4. I felt,
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's fair. That's fine.
Yeah.
And 4. I mean, and 5's kind of like 4. No. Malcolm gets special dispensation for 4.
Yeah.
5
is right out.
5 is right out. I love you. Okay.
Is this to make up for all the times that Zach muted him?
There's no making up for that.
He's making up for that. He brought it upon himself.
Whoa! Zalcom domestic.
Are you going to wear your Zalcom t-shirt? You are wearing your Zalcom t-shirt.
Salcombe shippers represent.
Ah,
Okay, now.
So you know that there's a button where we can see the poll results?
It won't show you.
It doesn't work.
Does it not?
No.
I was trying to be nice and not press the button.
I very much
Very reserved of you. I clicked almost immediately.
We tested this.
We're ahead of you. We cut the wires.
I love that you didn't press that button.
Excellent.
Because I pressed it immediately.
I'm gonna go first because I can do that.
Ooh. Okay, so.
Oh, it's live updated. That's exciting.
Oh my god. Okay, so we'll give it a little while. We'll give it another kind of five or 10 minutes or whatever until the toasts are finished. That's how long we'll give it. This is a very
We're not going to
professional.
get a live commentary, Frankie.
What's that, my darling?
We're not going to get a commentary of who's going to lead.
Yes. No. Toast time. So I believe I've never used it because I'm definitely a professional grown-up. There's a raising hand function in Zoom, is there not? How does that work? Can somebody press the raise hand button? I can see it.
Where is it?
Okay, that's great.
Where's the raise hand button?
Are you on a computer?
In the reactions tab.
The reactions.
You might need to unraise it as well.
Okay. Yes. So right. You're all very funny and cute. Now take
it's
all of
easier
these-
than keeping a hand up, you know.
Take my God,
it just stays there without pain.
Sweaty. Okay, everyone, take your reactions away. Go on, take all of these nice hearts.
How do you
away.
take them up?
Go on.
Yeah, I think you just have to let him fade.
Oh.
The hands you can unraise, but the reactions just fade.
They just fade. Okay, so how we're going to do this is if you have a toast that you would like to make or a memory that you would like to share or like a shout out that you would like to make to another member of Storytime who has like done you a solid or whatever, raise your hand on the Zoom, not your actual hand. These will be ignored, only on the screen.
Don't see where like the reactions doesn't give me the raising.
Oh
no.
Oh.
If you click on participants, it's also there.
Like clap and thumbs up also appear.
No, if you click on participants, you get 3 buttons at the bottom: invite, mute me, and raise hand.
If the people who can raise their hands, raise your hand. If you can't and you want to do a toast, drop it in the chat and be like, hello, I would like to say a thing. Okay. In no particular order, we're going to start. Jen and Neville, your hand is raised.
Oh my gosh, I've raised a hand, so I'm going to claim first. So I want to share a lovely memory I had when we started Pride and Prejudice. And me, Cara, and Ben stayed up until like 1 or 2 in the morning, which is like seriously late for my 7 a.m. work start. Totally geeking out about Jane Austen. I immediately ordered the book that Cara had recommended on like the works of Jane Austen, and it was everything that I hoped it would be. And it was just such a lovely like after chat of us totally nerding out on something that we were all apparently really into. It was glorious.
So cute. That's so lovely. I will definitely drink to that.
Cheers. Thank you, Frankie. And thank you for bringing so much Pratchett.
Yes, Pratchett. Okay, Matt, you have your hand up.
Yeah. So not everyone may know, but I kind of hop from one side of the world to the other fairly regularly, and when that's happening, standardly, normally, I don't mind so much. I don't mind coming back and not talking to people because I know that I'll come back and it's going to be fine. But when I was going to come back and that just all shattered so quickly, there's this sort of deep-seated thing of like, I'll be forgotten. I won't be, you know, like I know some people will remember me, but like I won't be part of it anymore. And what was really, really, really lovely was being able to jump into Storytime sometimes. I couldn't do it all the time. I couldn't actually join in for months because it was too painful. It was just, I couldn't see everyone so close yet so far away, which I know everyone was doing. But when I could start coming again properly, it was just the nicest thing to have those reactions of, Matt's here, yay! And that was like, people do remember me, people do still miss me. And that was just so reassuring. And it kind of reminds me that when I do get back there, whether it's next year or the year after, that people will still want to have me round and will still want to have me come and visit their city and all those things. So yeah, it's been very reassuring emotionally for that.
Oh,
Matt.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
darling.
Oddly relatable, man.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lyric gets me.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Oh God.
Like, I also like, just to add on that note, like, even like being in the UK and stuff, I also have those feelings of like finding it difficult to be with people but not with people. And like in some ways I really regret that I haven't been on here more, but it is also really nice that like every time we come in when we haven't been in a while and people are really welcoming and stuff, even if we're just sitting in the background.
Oh God, it's always so wonderful to have you here. Yeah, it's like, but yeah, like when people come along, particularly who we haven't seen for a while, and you know, like coming in and seeing people's faces pop up on the screen, it's just, it's really good and lovely. Okay, Andy, you have your hand up.
Oh dear. Not sure if I'm ready for this, but here goes. Like, special shout out for late night crew and poetry people, because like, yeah, we hung out so many times and it's been great. And thanks everyone for being super supportive and like enthusiastically supportive of the times when I was starting to write, because that was super cool. And if that's okay with you, I'll read a little thing that I wrote a while ago and kind of sums up my feelings about Storytime. Once upon a lockdown, dreary, I was lurking sad and weary on a platform known as Facebook, scrolling through posts, pop culture galore, while I wasted time and battery. Suddenly there was a warning of a group engaged in reading novels and much more. This is wonderful, I muttered. Reading novels and much more. I wonder what they have in store. As surely as a staple, we were in the month of April, and each week of the pandemic brought more doom and gloom for sure. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow joy from hobbies, but still hollow felt the days before, for the COVID virus sent us, locked us even in our home, bored and stuck forevermore. And the daily happy chatter, reading of each thrilling chapter, story, poem with fantastic creatures never met before, drew me in and filled the beating of my heart, each day repeating, "'Tis now story time, my dearies," from the seat behind the door. Indeed, story time, my dearies. Are you sitting on the floor? Rhythm was, but rest assured, comfortably, indeed we're sitting, muting all who are in the meeting. Then, say you, while smiling brightly and with mischief, I'll begin. But the fact is I was napping, and I missed all that was happening. I may have dreamed all that was happening in that book of yours. Catch up crew, I'm sure I heard you say goodbye to at the end. YouTube lets us nap some more. Deep into our hearts we're digging, long we sit there, writing, thinking, ringing, stringing words few mortals dared to string before, and the silence is thus broken, Our truths as such were spoken. Storytime's a haven, token of creative work and lore. All are welcome, with your talents, quirks, and minds hungry for more. Also, cliffhangers galore. To be continued.
Yeah.
That was so good. That was so good.
That was incredible. That was incredible. Like,
Hey, you heard it before.
Like it's still incredible.
Still
It will
good.
never not be incredible.
So to everything Andy said and to the Haven. What a beautiful piece of writing.
Yeah, to the Haven. Oh my god. Okay.
Andy.
Tris.
Andy, I was clapping you, and Ash joined in. He's never clapped anyone before. You're the first person he's ever clapped.
You're his first clap.
That's so sweet.
It's first applause.
Gosh, that is the most flattering thing ever.
No, really, I just have to quickly tell a matching story. When the story finished on Tuesday, Araha, who was lying next to me in the dark and I had my headphones on, when everyone started cheering, she clapped.
Yeah.
I didn't know she could hear so much, but yeah.
Damn your child ears.
It was so cute. I didn't even
A reassuring
really
thing for a doctor to say.
Started clapping.
Dr. Malcolm, damn your child ears wide. Okay.
The child's ears sounds like some kind of oath in an Austen novel. Child's ears, Fitzroy.
Listen, you chaotic, beautiful bunch. Tris, your hand is up, even though your face is not present.
It is. Sorry about that. Yeah, my face is run down, but my hand is up. I was thinking about Storytime and how it's not only a really lovely hour and a half for a bunch of people on weeknights through a really bad time, but it's also a dose of joy when that's been a little bit hard to come by, and a patch of care when times have been pretty rough. And I'm sure that a lot of people here have had the strength to reach out to a friend that most of us don't know, or that none of us know, and check in with how they're doing and make sure that they're doing okay. And I'm sure that as a result of that, that friend has had room for a smile to somebody on the street, or has just avoided being harsh with their partner or something, because they got a bit of kindness from a Storytimer. So the toast that I want to make is to the fields that Frankie tills.
No.
Yeah, you got her, Tris.
Oh.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Motherfucker.
That was lovely.
Pick a person.
Okay, pick a person. Pick a person.
Kim, you do it.
Kim, your hand is up. What would you like to say?
Quickly, save me.
Someone else talk.
Unmute. That's a good start. I was like, I can get through this. This will be fine. I won't cry. And now I'm like, oh, great. Perfect timing. So I haven't joined from the very start, partly because at the start of the pandemic, it was also the time that I decided that I had to move country for personal circumstances. And I ended up couch surfing for about 10 months during the pandemic. But I am so grateful because people here were incredibly supportive. There was always someone to come and talk to. I could join after the story time in the evenings. And there was always someone online to chat to. Often Jonathan or Malcolm would be around, or Andy. And I could just forget about everything else in the world for a while. And it was just something I'm so grateful to everybody here, because I often didn't have space or room or capacity to reach out to anyone else, and there were always just someone here, and I could say stuff I didn't have to. And then I had COVID, and I could also be here for that, and it was
I was just so grateful for the kindness and the warmth and just the welcoming atmosphere that I experienced from everybody. And it's just so nice to see. It was nice to see everyone's faces and just that all through the pandemic and everything else. So yeah, thank you so much.
Oh.
You can.
Sorry.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hey, here's to you, sweetie.
Here's to you guys.
Here's to all of us. Yay!
Can I give a tiny mini shout out to Mike teaching me the sort of like, or it's not even that I use it, but just seeing Mike do this is so cute and lovely, and I always enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Oh,
yeah. He's doing it.
Oh no! It's what the way you do it, Mike. It's like, oh, that looks like a really nice hug.
Oh.
Like that looks like a really good hug. Megan, sweetie, your hand is up.
I'm slow. I was like, how does all of it work? Also, all this cheersing. I wanted to read something first, and then I'll say something about it. Just a very small bit of a book. It's by Svetlana Boym, and it's called The Future of Nostalgia. So it's not more of a non-fiction, but I'll read part of it here. The danger of nostalgia is that it tends to confuse the actual home and the imaginary one. In extreme cases, it can create a phantom homeland, for the sake of which one is already ready to die or kill. Unreflected nostalgia breeds monsters, yet the sentiment itself, the mourning of displacement and temporal irreversibility, is at the very core of the modern condition. Now, that might sound like kind of a strange thing to read, but my love of Storytime is filled with baggage. It started in 2010, before you even existed, and involves quite a lot of trauma and quite a lot of loss. And I thought I lost you. Now, some of you might not know what I'm talking about, but what I found out in the pandemic and with Frankie and with Storytime is that you do not ever lose a community, even if you think you have. And I just have to give a shout out to Brack and Rory for just kind of innocently, I was in the bath at their house. I had finally sort of escaped this situation I was in London, and I was up at their place, and they're like, oh, we're just gonna listen to this thing. I don't know, you can come in, but you know, trigger warning, it's a bunch of people you might not have seen in a while. And it was honestly the best thing. I haven't always been here live, but when I think of 2020 and when I think of the energy and the love that I have, when I think about whether or not, subjectively, obviously, it was a good year, I think of Storytime. I do not think of anything else. So thank you, and cheers.
Can I cut in briefly to say that I don't think there's a single person in this call who doesn't owe some part of their dancing life to Megan, and her, I don't know what you meant was significantly more modest than it should have been.
And Megan, if I can just very quickly say, like, one of the wonderful, wonderful things that has come from Storytime for me is not just the chance to get to see and stay in contact with the people from my community that I already knew and considered good friends, and to deepen those friendships, but to get to meet completely new people who maybe I wouldn't have had a chance to meet, or wouldn't have had a chance to meet for years. You know, like you, like, you know, Tal, there's a bunch of people here. I mean, Duncan, like people who I've never met before this all happened. And it's been such a joy and privilege to be able to get sort of such incredible new people into my life through this. So thank you guys so much.
I'm so excited for all the friends that I haven't met yet in person.
Definitely. Duncan, your hand is up.
Yes, it is. So when we all meet up again in person, or meet for the first time in many cases, I know a few people here. I've met a few people here. I met a few people in passing. I met you at Microfusion, Frankie, but you were kind of tied to somebody with Christmas lights at the time, so it was kind of complicated. I'm going to be a ruddy sobbing mess, and I'm totally okay with that. And that for me is a first in my life. I'm never okay with emotions. I've never trusted people around me with my emotions. So you wholesome fuckers have done something. Excuse young ears. Yeah. So that was kind of very new to me. My mental health was kind of up and down over the summer, and I dropped out for a book and came back and somehow felt welcome. That's kind of novel to me too. I'm not good at feeling welcome. So yeah, I did write a poem and rewrite it and redraft it and tweak it and rewrite it. And I've got a version now. It'll never be the final version. I think I'll be writing this for the rest of my life. But I'm going to read it anyway. I remember dance class. I remember so many dances. I remember a million beautiful moments, and I miss them so hard. It hurts. Stepping forward, offer. Let your partner embrace. Let them settle against you. I miss it so hard. It hurts. Let the rhythm fill you. Let the beat connect you both. Give you a language together. I miss talking like that. The music, it's all gone. There's no connections allowed. No touching of two souls. I feel like the world's broken. Then it's 9 p.m. and smiling faces, chocolate flavoured words. They tell us it'll all be okay. It feels like it can't be. And I remember the first time I felt it. Tentative, little letting my weight settle. The ghost of being held. Where'd the music go? Later, it's after work, but I'm back on Zoom. I've had a bad day, and it must show. Without thinking, I lean in, and it's there. Impossible, but it's real. Someone's holding me. And suddenly, I can hear a beat. 5 nights of stories. A syncopation from the catch-up crew. A screen full of partners as we twirl and spin and hold and touch. These aren't the moves I know. With spoons and hearts and muting Malcolm, with Biscoff and Narogi and Rory getting wet. Poems and birthdays and Jonathan's beard. How did these things become steps to a dance? Falcon sex hats and ships in a bath, bobbing and weaving across a floor. Blue cheese flavoured ice cream and Gordon's notes, Joyce appearing in every story, and saucy times with cling film. One day we'll meet on the dance floor, throbbing beats and dark and sweat, bodies pressed together and moving as one. The old magic will be back again. But I'll never forget now these dances we've danced together, with only a screen to connect us. When we all held on tight, and everything was okay for a while.
My God, Duncan.
I'm fucking crying,
That
man.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Katie, can we get that in the Storytime book?
Yes, you can.
Duncan, will you send that to me? Katie and I just finished putting it together. We will put it in there somewhere because it needs to be in there.
Definitely.
That's all good tonight.
Thank you, Duncan. Duncan.
That was beautiful.
That was so beautiful. Thank you, darling. Pontouf's here. Colin. Oh, Ash. Ash, I noticed that your hand is up. Did you or Lisa or Jonas have something that you wanted to say?
Shall I go first?
Oh.
I think I'm visually deprived and incoherent. And I don't want to follow Duncan. Fuck. But you guys have been such a lovely village in which to raise this child.
Oh.
It's been like a very odd and isolating and weird, like massive change to our lives to have a munchkin. But having like you guys and your faces and you being excited to see him and all of that has been really lovely. And I really appreciated it. And I'm definitely not going to start crying now. Does anyone else want to say anything? So yes, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Lisa. Oh. Thank you so much. It's been so exciting and such a like joy and pleasure to see like your wonderful family popping up into the screen. And like I remember like one of my most treasured memories and one of my most kind of like sort of awe-inspiring memories was when you tuned in to Storytime from hospital, having just given birth to Ash, like seeing you there like in hospital with this brand new baby,
Tiny
this
human.
tiny human that you made. And you like came onto Storytime, like
It's all those cliffhangers.
holy shit, dude.
Like I wasn't allowed visitors. Like I could see all of you. You could all visit me, and it was amazing to see your faces and to not feel alone with it. It was just wonderful.
We've got you. Cara, would you like to say anything?
You guys hear me okay? Yeah, so like a lot of people, the first lockdown was really hard, and I pretty much tuned in every night for 3 months. And I've had to drop out after that, mostly for sleep, blue screen reasons. But I really, really treasure the time on here. Particularly, it was so useful to like be able to connect with people in other dance scenes. There was a time when I used to go to a lot more dance events, particularly in Bristol in Scotland, and get to see the kind of non-local people more. And I've had to scale back on dance stuff more and more every year for health reasons. And so I've kind of lost some of that. So it's been just really special to be able to see and connect with people far away. And that's kind of been like an advantage of all this Zooming. You know, it's something that I'm seeing more of some people than I would have otherwise. Just made a short list of some random things that I treasure. There's loads of moments I've left out. It's just what came to mind. Looking at Frankie's face every night, particularly watching Frankie's reactions to everyone else, especially when we make her cry again and again and again. Like sometimes when someone's reading something, I like put Frankie on pin just to like the emotion's so just like on the surface, and it's so it just makes me tear up as well. Reading everyone's messages in her anniversary card was also something that made me get really chilly, because I don't think people always knew that they would all be like on show, and they were just so sweet and personal and yeah, just really beautiful. The podcast that is all of you chatting shit when I watch the YouTube videos on catch up, because like I know the first 15 minutes is just me chatting shit, so I kind of like putter around while I'm doing that, and I just, you know, it's, you guys are actually like pretty decent talk radio.
and I've gotten some good things out of it too, like a pirate podcast on Audible and recipes and whatnot. One of my favorite books was Frankie's rendition of Matilda. The voices were just so brilliant, and it's one of my favorite books. I kind of reread it like every year or two, and I feel like I'm going to go back to that podcast again and again. I loved Rory's Colin Firth moment, especially because like the anticipation of it just built up for like the entire kind of evening, and I was just like, I don't want to say gagging or like burning at the loins, but it wouldn't be wrong to say that either. Everyone's efforts, in addition to Frankie, like obviously Frankie is just everything, but I just want to shout out other people, particularly Katie and Lyric, who like have done so much to keep this going. Everyone's personal contributions, though, I think are like one of my biggest highlights, particularly the songs. And Bracken at Christmas was just Bracken saying, have yourself a merry little Christmas. And I need that on audio to like Judy Garland is now out and Bracken is now in. And I mean, Bracken, they made the saddest song ever sadder, and it just killed me. Really quickly, I had a quick idea for the Storytime book, but I also don't want to put any pressure on Lyric and Katie. But I wondered if I collected, like, maybe I asked everyone for 2 quick memories that they liked. They could write 1 to 2 sentences about each, and we could just have like a little, like maybe a few pages of boxes with like random memories. And they don't have to be attributed to anyone. So people would just say like, I loved Rory's Colin Firth moment, made me gag. That kind of thing.
So I don't want to put any pressure on Katie with this, but if somebody else does the work and gives me all of the results of a Google form or all of those collected, then we will put them on a page in the book. But I have a lot going on life-wise right now and don't have the energy to put that together. But like, if literally all you have to do is make a Google form and send me the results and it has the one question, like, please somebody do this because I'd love to read it. I'm
going to do that. If that interests you, can you like wave at me? We all have like a little list of just like memories. That way it'll be like a little journal for all of us to look back on. And if it goes in the book or not, I'll share it. Just a few more things. Rory's ridiculous spoken word works just killed me. I hope that Rory competes because like he should. Frankie's snail story, Andy's playful poetry, Lyric's vulnerability in the poetry, including the voice, like your poetry voice just, oh, it's almost like an AMSR experience. It really gives me goosebumps. And just to finally say that there's just a lot of beauty here. So much that sometimes it does hurt. So it has sometimes been hard to actually to be here, but only because in the best way possible. I'm really grateful for this space and everything that you guys have done. And I really, really look forward to seeing you in person. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you, darling. Oh God. Okay. We'll have, I think, okay, so now we have Lyric, Katie and Bina have their hands up. I think we will have these toasts, and then I think we will have Jenny's music, and then we'll have the reading of the winner of the poll. What's he going to do? So Lyric, would you like to go next?
Sure. Well, some of the first people I wanted to thank actually were Katie and Bina for helping me keep this going, and the organizing that Frankie, Katie, and Bina and folks have put into helping make sure things continue and help build this community alongside Frankie, as well as Frankie. Like, it's really great to be working with y'all. I love organizing. I don't get many chances to do it. And it's been, oh God, you said vulnerability cry, and now you're gonna get it because I'm gonna cry this whole time. I haven't felt this consistently a part of a community possibly ever. And it's been really wonderful. I have a lot of health issues that make it hard to leave the house right now between physical and mental health stuff. And I've gotten to see people's faces and be in an environment where people are really encouraging of you trying new and scary things. And it makes it a lot easier to keep doing them. And I wouldn't have kept writing or being so vulnerable in it without the way that all of y'all have been about it. It's been really wonderful to get to know all of you better and not just feel like far and kind of adjacent and alongside the community in the UK, but and the rest of Europe, of course, and other people who stretch across here, but like actually get to be a part of it for so long. It's been really wonderful and really special. Thank you, everyone, because this wouldn't be the same without all of you.
Oh, darling.
Oh.
Cheers. We love you so goddamn much. Thank you, Lyric. Katie or Nick?
Okay. So my memory is sometime last summer when Mike told me that I had been at Storytime more times than Frankie. I'm really rubbish at like showing up to things for myself. Like Nick will tell you I'm terrible at prioritizing myself. But this has just given me something to hold on to. Like my job is COVID guidance. I think doom and gloom all day, every day. It's all I talk about. So having Storytime to come to has just it's given me something else in my life, something positive and something beautiful. And I've been here like where I've had my camera off and I've just wept the whole time, but it's been so lovely to have other humans. I've showed up when there's been like 2 people here. I've come when it's only me sometimes. And the other thing that's really meaningful is I've been able to like connect with my granddad in a way that I'd never thought that I could, because I've realized that I love poetry and I was able to make a poetry compilation for him for his birthday. And now we have this amazing connection where we talk about poetry and share poetry that we like, and I would never have had that otherwise. And Frankie, like the number of times when me and Nick have just talked about licking your face during story time, like there's lots of face licks stored up for when that's legal again. But thank you everyone for for being around for me.
Oh, love you lots, Katie.
Oh,
Love you, Katie. All the love. Oh, darling. Oh, God. Oh, God. Bina, sweetheart.
I thought it'd be okay today, and I'm very not okay. Yeah, I mean, Katie said so, like everyone said so much that any of us could have said, right? Like how many people's poetry collections are 20 times the size they were in February 2020? Like it's ludicrous how many people have discovered that, and it's been so good seeing like the regular crew and people who drop in and hearing people's poems for the first time, and like hearing I think Duncan, is that the first time you've read as a poet? Is that certainly the first time you've read as one of your poems?
Yeah.
Like, and Mike, you've created this space where there's nothing asked of any of us. We can turn up and be camera off, on mute, and still have a place to come, even on those like worst of days. And on the good days, we bring poems.
Yay.
Vina, that was a poem at the end there.
We're recording, thank goodness. We can write this down later.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this tattooed over my whole body. All of this, the whole transcript of this. It's gonna be awful. Thank you, Bina. Oh God.
Oh, but seriously, bone tattoos?
Yeah, are we gonna get group tattoos now called tattoos? What?
I mean, I'm not averse to the idea, but ask me when I'm not emotional and drinking.
But because Katie said something really nice, I think Bina was the last person, but I think just to end it, let's toast to all being here for each other this whole time. Like, thank you all for being here for me and here for each other, and just here even when you couldn't be here for either of us, and just existing.
Yeah. Cheers.
I don't need to because we have it on out loud.
No, she might go to bed.
I think I would also just like to take the opportunity, like, I want to, like, I know that some of you here are live crew ride or die, and some of you are switch crew between live and catch up, and then there are some people who have come along tonight who are primarily catch up crew. But if catch up crew are watching this from the HMS catch up, here's to you. We love you and thank you all for being the part of this community and like strengthening it and loving one another and loving us from the past or the future. I don't have any proper words. I'm
okay. It's
love
okay.
you, catch up crew.
Yeah.
Here's to that catch up crew.
And once we're not going to hit stop. Jenny, where's Jenny?
Where's Jenny?
I think can I maybe sing after your book, because I'm a bit too emotional, and can I give a last tiny toast instead? Before Storytime or before the pandemic, I had kind of been disconnecting from the blues community a little bit because mental health and lack of sleep. It's tough to go to blues festivals when you don't sleep well under normal circumstances and stuff. So I haven't been going to festivals much, and we don't have a blues community here in Würzburg. And then the last couple of festivals I went to were kind of tainted for me after, because of the whole scabies thing. For those who didn't know, I was patient 0. I got it from a hospital and I didn't know. And I felt really bad. Like, I had a really bad conscience about like going to festivals and potentially giving people scabies, which is so laughable now that we could potentially give people corona. But yeah, so the last couple of festivals before the pandemic were so tainted for me that I felt really disconnected from the blues community. And I've discovered it again through Storytime, and I've just been so happy to get to know you, like most of you, better than I would have ever at festivals, because you never get to talk. And right now I can't even remember which ones of you I've met in person and which ones of you I met on Storytime, because it feels like I know you so well. And I'm just so thankful for rediscovering it, re-entering this wholesome, supportive community. And it's like strengthened my decision to also move to a city, like once I start working properly, to move to a city that has a blues scene, because I just can't do without it, and I want to get back into it, and I want to reconnect and hug all of you and dance with all of you and squish all of you. And yeah, I love you so much. You're so supportive and so caring and just wonderful.
Jenny, I love you. Well, Okay, I think that potentially. Do you think we've all had enough feelings for a bit? Do you think? I mean, this little soggy piece of toast, I think, has potentially absorbed about as many feelings as she could possibly take for a while.
Many litres of feelings.
Many litres of feelings. So quickly before I reveal the winner of the poll and read a few pages of it, I haven't like prepared anything to say in terms of a toast for myself, because I thought that if I start thinking about it and trying to like write something eloquent and profound, I will just start crying and never stop, maybe ever. And so this is not a particularly beautiful or poetic or moving toast, but thank you. Storytime has, in a very real way, given my life meaning for the past year, in a time when all of the meaning was kind of thrown up in the air. It's been a weird and difficult time for everyone in a whole bunch of different ways. In some ways I've had it pretty sweet. In other ways, you know, I have had some tough stuff going on as well. And there's been lots of life changes and big upheavals, both positive and more difficult. And having Storytime being part of this community, the support of everyone, and also something that I could like pour my, you know, my love and my kind of attention and focus into, has you've done something wonderful for me, and I can never be more like grateful enough, and I thank you and I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I always will. And if anybody ever needs me for anything, like, I'm right here. Here's to you. Okay. Yay!
Does anyone need a water break or anything?
Yeah. Hydrate.
Can you give Frankie a hug from us, please?
Yeah, like a really big one.
And we're here for you too, Frankie.
Yeah, you got us. We're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you're free, you know, Tuesday to Thursday at 9 o'clock and ever just want a place to be, you don't even have to turn your camera or your microphone on. We'll just be here using your Zoom account.
You can watch the catch-up videos. You've got this.
Can I just say how amazing it is, on slightly off topic, that we can all cheers and we get to, like, we're basically cheersing that lovely baby noises.
Yeah.
So I mean, how many of us have gotten to cheers a baby before? I mean, really.
Yay, baby cheers. Okay, everybody.
Do you need some water?
I could do with a tissue if I'm perfectly honest.
I can do that.
You need to dry your eyes break.
Cool. Yeah, little break.
Hydrate and dry.
Yeah, a hydrate and nose blowing break, and we'll meet back here in like 2 minutes.
If your life goes horrifically wrong, Frankie, which we all hope it doesn't, like, you've got, you know, 30 family members now who you can move in with and who will look after you.
Thank you. I think I didn't do it in as part of the toast because it felt like, I don't know, some sort of weird nepotism, but I'm gonna do a little like informal private toast in this sort of hydrating break. Can everyone please just give it up for the strong right hand of Storytime, Zach Goldie, who has been here from the very beginning and has like taught me how to use Zoom and has like Dropboxed me a bunch of recordings because I was too much of an idiot to understand how to make like uploads happen, and has like recommended books for me and has like shaken the tip jar and has just like, you've always been very, very like proactively there for me, like a big threatening bouncer.
Yes.
And I like it. So here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you. Oh. You're welcome. Can I even forget you?
Yeah.
Sorry,
To be
Malcolm.
fair, I've just been rewatching The Night Circus, and the final of The Night Circus is, first of all, the first time Frankie recorded the Zoom call by herself without Zach.
Oh.
And also, Malcolm, you are incredibly noisy through like all mutings, totally justified.
Well, I wasn't expecting that serious shade.
I couldn't resist. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Since we're in a bit of a break, I know not everyone's into this, but I just want to flex a little bit and be like, so it is someone's birthday for the rest of you tomorrow, but it's their birthday for me right now. So I just want to say first, and you can reveal yourself if you want, but I'm not going to do that against your will. So first, happy birthday.
Well, okay, in that case, okay, right, I see that you've got a first on there. All right, okay, okay. I'm gonna put this one in the
I am the first.
This is for the person in question to put in the microwave and warm up later. Happy birthday. This is.
Oh, I like that.
And keep it in the fridge because there's quite a lot of dairy in there and it does go off. Okay, everybody. I think we are all met once.
Sorry, we're way too many people, Malcolm.
No, Malcolm.
No.
Absolutely.
This is why I took the approach I did.
Okay, everybody. Right. It's time for the big reveal. So, according to my sinister Grand Vizier, more than what a handsome boy you are. More than half of the people, that's you, voted for this. And it is, may I have a drum roll? Shades of Grey by Jasper Ford. Yay! Okay, so perhaps we will do an intro. Let's do an intro. Oh no, I've muted myself. That's like muting you all, but it doesn't work for you guys and it only works for me. Let's try this again. Mute all.
Let's not do Stand By Me again.
You think, let's not do Stand By Me again. Oh, we haven't, we should have prepped a thing.
We should have prepped.
Yeah, let's just do it. Okay.
Classic.
Right.
A-ding, a-ding, ba-ding, ga-da-bum, ba-ding, ba-dum, 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 ba-da-bum, ba-dum, 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 ba-dee, da-dee, ba-dee, da-dee, da-dee, ba-dee, ba-dee, da-da,
She ba-bee, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yay! I think doing these have made me more musical. Please, nobody disabuse me of this.
I can say professionally that correct. You're very musical.
Ian! Hi! Awesome.
Oh! I turned up at 10. It's lovely to see you all.
Oh, sweet. God, yeah, it's gone on to two. It's gone on to two. Ian's here. Oh my God, there's a bunch. Jonathan's here. Jonathan, your beard looks great. Oh my God, why did I not know this? Okay. That's all. So that's very loud toast. Y'all better not be eating that toast while I'm reading. It's very loud toast. Okay, so let's have. I'll do the first, say, like 5 pages. So this is not going to be a big long read. It's just enough to give you a little flavour of it. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Oh God. Begin. Shades of Grey by Jasper Ford. A morning in Vermilion. Rule 2.4.16.55.021. Males are encouraged to wear dress code number 6 during intercollective travel. Hats are encouraged, but not mandatory. It began with my father not wanting to see the last rabbit, and ended up with me being eaten by a carnivorous plant. It wasn't really what I'd planned for myself. I'd hoped to marry into the Oxbloods and join their dynastic string empire. But that was 4 days ago, before I'd met Jane, retrieved the Caravaggio, or explored High Saffron. So, instead of enjoying aspirations of chromatic advancement, I was wholly immersed within the digestive soup of a Yataveo tree. It was all frightfully inconvenient. But it wasn't all bad, and for the following reasons. First, I was lucky to have landed upside down. I would drown in under a minute, which is far, far preferable to being dissolved alive over the space of a few weeks. Second, and more important, I wasn't going to die ignorant. I had discovered something that no amount of merits can buy you: the truth. Not the whole truth, but a pretty big part of it. And that's why this was all frightfully inconvenient. I wouldn't get to do anything with it. And this truth was too big and too terrible to ignore. Still, at least I'd held it in my hands for a full hour and understood what it meant. I didn't set out to discover a truth. I was actually sent to the outer fringes to conduct a chair census and learn some humility. But the truth inevitably found me, as important truths often do, like a lost thought in need of a mind. I found Jane, too, or perhaps she found me. It doesn't really matter. We found each other. And although she was grey and I was red, we shared a common thirst for justice that transcended chromatic politics. I loved her. And what's more, I was beginning to think that she loved me. After all, she did apologise before she pushed me into the leafless expanse below the spread of the Yataveo, and she wouldn't have done that if she'd felt nothing. So that's why we're back here, 4 days earlier in the town of Vermilion, the regional hub of Red Sector West. My father and I had arrived by train the day before and overnighted at the Green Dragon. We had attended morning chant and were now seated for breakfast, disheartened but not surprised that the early greys had already taken the bacon, and it remained only an exquisite odour. We had a few hours before our train and had decided to squeeze in some sightseeing. We could always go and see the last rabbit, I suggested. I'm told it's unmissable. But Dad was not to be easily swayed by the rabbit's uniqueness. He said we'd never see the badly drawn map, Oz Memorial, Colour Garden and Rabbit before our train departed, and pointed out that not only did Vermilion's museum have the best collection of Vimto bottles anywhere in the collective, but on Mondays and Thursdays they demonstrated a gramophone. A 14-second clip of Something Got Me Started, he said, as if something vaguely red-related would swing it. But I wasn't quite ready to concede my choice. The Rabbit's getting pretty old, I persisted, having read the safety briefing in the How Best to Enjoy Your Rabbit Experience leaflet, and petting is no longer mandatory. It's not the petting, said Dad with a shudder. It's the ears. In any event, he continued, I can have a productive and fulfilling life having never seen a rabbit. This was true, and so could I. It was just that I'd promised my best friend Fenton and 5 others I would log the Lonesome Bun's taxa number on their behalf, and thus allow them to note it proxy seen in their animal spotter books. I'd even charged them 25 cents each for the privilege, then blew the lot on licorice for Constance and a new pair of synthetic red shoelaces for me. Dad and I bartered like this for a while, and he eventually agreed to visit all of the town's attractions in a circular manner to save on shoe leather. The Rabbit came last, after the Colour Garden. So, with the decision to at least include the Rabbit in the morning's entertainment, Dad returned to his toast, tea, and copy of Spectrum, and I looked idly about the shabby breakfast rooms, seeking inspiration for the postcard I was writing. The Green Dragon dated from before the Epiphany, and like much of the collective, had seen many moments, each of them slightly more time-worn than the one before. The paint in the room was peeling, the plaster moulding dry and crumbly, the linoleum tabletop was worn to the canvas, and the cutlery either bent, broken, or missing. But the hot smell of toast, coffee, and bacon, the flippant affability of the staff, and the noisy chatter of strangers enjoying transient acquaintance gave the establishment a peculiar charm that the reserved, eminently respectable tea rooms back home in Jade under Lime could never match. I noticed also that, despite the lack of any rules regarding seat plans in non-hue specific venues, the guests had unconsciously divided the room along strictly chromatic lines. The one ultraviolet was respectfully given a table all to himself, and several greys stood at the door, waiting patiently for an empty table, even though there were places available. We were sharing our table with a green couple. They were of mature years and wealthy enough to wear artificially green clothes so that all could witness the enthusiastic devotion to their hue, a proudly expensive and tastelessly ostentatious display that was doubtless financed by the sale of their child allocation. Our clothes were dyed in a conventional shade, visible only to other reds, so to the greens sitting opposite, we had only our red spots to set us apart from the greys, and were equally despised. When they say red and green are complementary, it doesn't mean we like one another. In fact, the only thing that reds and greens can truly agree on is that we dislike yellows more. You, said the green woman, pointing her spoon at me in an exceptionally rude manner, fetch me some marmalade. I dutifully complied. The green woman's bossy attitude was not untypical. We were 3 notches lower in the chromatic scale, which officially meant we were subservient. But although lower in the order, we were still prime within the long-established red, yellow, blue colour model, and a red would always have a place on the village council, something the greens, with their bastard blue-yellow status, could never do. It irritated them wonderfully. Unlike the dopey oranges, who accepted their lot with a cheery, self-effacing good humour, greens never managed to rise above the feeling that no one took them seriously enough. The reason for this was simple. They had the colour of the natural world almost exclusively to themselves, and felt that the scope of their sight gift should reflect their importance within the collective. Only the blues could even begin to compete with this uneven share of the spectrum, as they owned the sky, but this was a claim based mainly on surface area rather than a variety of shades, and when it was overcast, they didn't even have that. But if I thought she was ordering me about owing solely to my hue, I was mistaken. I was wearing a needs humility badge under my red spot. It was related to an incident with the head prefect's son, and I was compelled to wear it for a week. If the green woman had been more reasonable, she would have excused me the errand owing to the prestigious 1000 merit badge that I also wore. Perhaps she didn't care. Perhaps she just wanted the marmalade. I fetched the jar from the sideboard, nodded respectfully, then returned to the postcard I was writing. It was of Vermillion's old stone bridge and had been given a light blue wash in the sky for 5 cents extra. I could have paid 10 and had one with green grass too, but this was for my potential fiancée, Constance Oxblood, and she considered over-colorization somewhat vulgar. The Oxbloods were strictly old colour and preferred muted tones of paint wherever possible, even though they could have afforded to decorate their house to the highest chroma. Actually, much to them was vulgar, and that included the russets, whom they regarded as nouveau couleur. Hence my status as potential fiancé. Dad had negotiated what we call a half promise, which meant I was first optioned to Constance. The agreement felt short of being reciprocal, but it was a good deal, a concession that, despite being a russet and 3 generations from grey, I might be able to see a goodly amount of red, so couldn't be ignored completely. Writing to Fishface already? Asked my father with a smile. Her memory's not that bad. True, I conceded, but despite her name, constancy is possibly her least well-defined attribute. Roger Maroon still sniffing around. As flies to Stinkwort, and you mustn't call her Fishface. More butter, remarked the green woman, and don't dawdle this time. That's a few pages. I think that will give you a little, hopefully, taste of what Shades of Grey is like.
If we shout more in concert, will you read the whole thing?
Just do the whole thing. Hold on. Would people be interested in another couple of pages?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
And also in
Oh, I missed that lyric. Lyric became robot lyric.
Oh, and also an all-nighter. Like you could probably just keep going after that. But I'll take another couple pages if that's what you got.
Cool.
It doesn't look that long. I'm sure we can beast this in one night.
I am here for a Canada all-nighter if you folks are.
What's that now?
I'm here for a Canada all-nighter if you folks are. I believe that's about 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, about that.
Perfect.
Depending on where in Canada you're thinking about.
Then I can go to bed.
True.
Yeah, that's
okay. We're gonna do this.
Can I just ask something? Because I need to take Araha to bed, and I was wondering if Jenny was ready to sing and could do one song first.
Yeah,
sure. Keep reading.
Bedtime song.
Yeah, that would be so lovely.
That would be very nice.
Thank you.
Sure. I'm gonna do the happy one then. Or the happiest one. So I haven't learned any new songs because studying. So, but hear that bluebird up in a tree. Hear him, what a song. Joy he's bringing, singing to me, singing all day long. Goodbye to skies of gray, for I'm back home today. All day long I jump and run about, you can always hear me shout now. Hello, bluebird. Got no time for blues or anything, I'm so happy I just want to sing. Hello, bluebird. Blue skies, sunshine, friends that are real. Old folks, sweetheart, oh how I feel. I'll not grow it like I did again, I'll just stay home and be a kid again. Hello, bluebird, hello. All day long I jump and run about, you can always hear me shouting out. Hello, bluebird. Got no time for blues or anything, I'm so happy I just want to sing. Hello, bluebird. Blue skies, sunshine, friends that are real. Old folks, sweetheart, oh how I feel. I'll not grow it like I did again, I'll just stay home and be a kid again. Hello, bluebird, hello.
Hey!
Thank you, Jim.
Good night, Ara.
That was so
She's not
good.
necessarily going to agree about this, but
Very
Bedtime
cute. That was so lovely, Jenny.
Yeah.
Thank you. What a lovely little page hiatus. Okay. Would you like a couple of pages more? Oh, more. Okay. Oh, very nearly muted myself again.
Oh no.
I'm great at this. We finished breakfast and, after some last-minute packing, descended to the reception desk, where Dad instructed the porter to have our suitcases delivered to the station. "Beautiful day," said the manager as we paid the bill. He was a thin man with a finely shaped nose and one ear. The loss of an ear was not unusual, as they could be torn off annoyingly easily. But what was unusual was that he'd not troubled to have it stitched back on, a relatively straightforward procedure. More interestingly, he wore his blue spot high up on his lapel. It was an unofficial but broadly accepted signal that he knew how to fix things for a fee. We'd had crayfish for dinner the night before, and he hadn't punched it out of ration books. It had cost us an extra half merit, covertly wrapped in the napkin. "Every day is a beautiful day," replied my father in a cheery manner. "Indeed they are," the manager replied genially as we exchanged feedback. The hotel for being clean and moderately comfortable, and us for not bringing shame to the establishment by poor table manners or talking loudly in public areas. "Do you travel far this morning?" "We're going to East Carmine." The Blue's manner changed abruptly. He gave us an odd look, handed back our merit books, and wished us a joyously uneventful future before swiftly attending to someone else. So we tipped the porter, reiterated the time of our train, and headed off to the first item on our itinerary. Said my father, staring at the badly drawn map once we had donated our 10 cents and shuffled inside the shabby yet clean map house. "I can't make head nor tail of this." The badly drawn map may not have been very exciting, but it was very well named. "That's probably why it survived the defacting," I suggested. For the map was not only mystifying, but mind-numbingly rare. Aside from the Parker brothers' celebrated geochromic view of the previous world, it was the only pre-epiphanic map known. But somehow its rarity wasn't enough to make it interesting, and we stared blankly for some minutes at the faded parchment, hoping to either misunderstand it on a deeper level, or at least get our money's worth. The longer and harder we look at it, the cheaper the entrance donation becomes, Dad explained. I thought of asking how long we'd have to stare at it before they owed us money, but didn't. He put his guidebook away and we walked back out into the warm sunlight. We felt cheated out of our 10 cents, but politely left positive feedback since the drabness of the exhibit was no fault of the curators. Dad? Yes? Why was the hotel manager so dismissive of East Carmine? The outer fringes have a reputation for being unsociably dynamic, he said after giving my question some thought. And some consider that eventfulness may lead to progressive thought, with all the attendant risks that might bring to the stasis. It was a diplomatically prescient remark, and one which I had to cause to consider a lot over the coming days. Yes, I said, but what do you think? He smiled. I think we should go and see the Oz Memorial. Even if as dull as Magnolia, it will still be 1,000 times more interesting than the badly drawn map. We walked along the noisy streets towards the museum and soaked in the hustle, bustle, dust and heat of Vermilion. On the streets there were traders who dealt with daily requisites, livestock herders, barrow boys, water sellers, piemen, storytellers and weight guessers, while the small shops catered for more long-term needs. Repairers, artifact dealers, spoon traders and calculating shops that offered addition and subtraction while you waited. Moderators and loopholists were hireable by the minute to advise on matters regarding the rules, and there was even a shop that traded solely in floaties, and another that specialised in postcode genealogy. In among it all, I noticed a stronger than usual presence of yellows, presumably there to keep an eye out for illegal colour exchange, seed trading, or running with a sharp implement. Unusually for a regional hub, Vermilion was positioned pretty much on the edge of the civilised world. Beyond it to the west were only the Redstone Mountains and isolated outposts like East Carmine. In the uninhabited zone there would be wild outland, megafauna, lost villages of untapped scrap colour, and quite possibly bands of nomadic riffraff. It was exciting and worrying all in one, and until the week before I hadn't even heard of East Carmine, let alone I would think I would be spending a month there on humility realignment. My friends were horrified and expressed low to moderate outrage that I should be treated this way, and proclaimed they would have started a petition if they could trouble themselves to look for a pencil. The fringes are the place of the slack-willed, slack-jawed and slack-hued, remarked Floyd Pinken, who could comfortably boast all three of those attributes if truth be known. And be wary of losers, self-abusers, fence-leapers and fornicators, added Tarquin, who, given his family history, would not have seemed out of place there either. They then informed me I would be demonstrably insane to leave the safety of the village boundary for even 1 second, and that a trip to the fringes would have me eating with my fingers, slouching and with hair below the collar in under a week. I almost decided to buy my way out of the assignment with a loan from my twice-widowed Aunt Beryl, but Constance Oxblood thought otherwise. "You're doing a what?" she had asked when I mentioned the reason I was going to East Carmine. "A chair census, my poppet," I explained. "Head office are worried that the chair density might have dropped below the prescribed 1.8 per person." How absolutely thrilling. Does an ottoman count as a chair or a very stiff cushion? She went on to say that I would be showing significant daring and commendable bravery if I went. So I changed my mind. With the prospect of joining the family of Oxblood and myself as potential prefect material, I was going to need the broadening that travel and furniture counting would doubtless bring. And a month in the intolerably unsophisticated outer fringes might well supply it for me. It's so funny and silly.
More.
One more chapter.
More. More.
This Thursdays.
One
more book. One more book.
One
more, yeah.
No, I think we'll leave it there for now.
Boo.
Boo yourself. So that's Shades of Grey by Jasper Ford. What do we think? Cool, fun, weird?
I like the universe building. You know me, I'm a sucker for anything color-based. I'm like, yes.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way you don't really understand what they're going on about, but it all still makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand the joke they're making, even though the actual things they're saying don't really, you don't understand it.
Yeah, I get it. Dystopian society. Cool.
I like him, but I'm still offended by the blurb because I think Jasper Ford is like a budget Douglas Adams, not a surpassing like talent in excess of Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
I think they were wrong to claim the opposite.
He's definitely not a surpassing Douglas Adams. I would say a different variety. I don't necessarily think budget Douglas Adams.
Like umami Douglas Adams.
Yeah, I'll take that. Delicious.
Yeah.
I look forward
like
to
a
hearing more.
Yeah, so I'm not even gonna joke.
Someone else wants to read it.
I want to know what lyric can get me. I want to know what lyric can get me as a blatant blue.
Ooh, blue.
Look at them.
Yeah, lyric. You're blue. You're definitely blue. I'm grey, I guess. Oh, Megan, red. Nice. Nice.
Jacket is off.
Oh my god. It's the bit of a storytime party where Ian takes his clothes off. This is my favourite bit.
What was that?
Frankie, that's not a thing, is it?
It could be.
Saucy time.
It could be.
Saucy time.
If we wanted to. You wanted to.
Hold on, everybody.
Every
Hold on,
Friday
everybody.
night.
We have some business to get to, and that business is Jenny and her beautiful music.
Yeah.
I did wear my business socks.
You know that's why they call them business socks, right?
It's not saucy time, guys.
At least wait until I've turned the recording off before goodbye saucy time begins.
Yeah. When there's alcohol socks.
Okay.
Oh, my neighbors are gonna hate me for this one.
Apologies.
How do you do that so fast?
But I'm trying to do it quietly. Can you hear me all right? Okay. I lives across the road from the Sacred Heart of Mary. She knocks upon my window every Sunday morn. She begs me come on in and put your knees down on the floorboards. Place your hands together, praise the Lord. Stomp your feet and clap your hands. Stomp your feet and clap your hands. You won't find redemption in the spire or the steeple. God ain't got religion. God is in the people.
Everyone believes a different version of the truth. Everybody's seeing from a different point of view. But if you close your eyes and turn your face towards the sun and sip it as we are all one. Stomp your feet and clap your hands. Stomp your feet and clap your hands. You won't find redemption in the spire or the steeple, 'cause God ain't got religion. God is in the people. Stomp your feet and clap your hands. Stomp your feet and clap your hands. You won't find redemption in the spire or the steeple, 'cause God ain't got religion. God is in the people. I hope you all stomped your feet and clapped your hands.
That was wonderful, Jenny. It was really. It was.
It was so good, Jenny.
It was also really funny watching like Mexican waves of claps go off around the screen as well.
Yeah, I tried
we were all
not to
pretty
look.
in sync, actually.
Yeah.
I tried not to look because it would have put me off, I think, out of my rhythm. But once we're all together again, we gotta sync that up and do that song again. It's really great when that works. It's like such a great feeling during that song. So this last one is, you all know this song. It's about monogamy. I don't approve of the message, but it's strangely appropriate during the pandemic. Because I'm kind of at the moment pandemic forcibly monogamous because my partner is chronically ill but hasn't got the vaccine yet. So we're theoretically poly, but at the moment, yeah, we're just careful. Like, so this is for him or for all of us in the pandemic. You know this song. No one to talk to, all by myself. No one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. And misbehaving, I'm saving all my love for you. I know for certain I'm the one I love. I'm through with flirting, 'cause it's your health I'm thinking of. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. Like Jack Horner in the corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for, believe me. I don't stay out late, no place to go. I'm home about it, just me and my radio. And misbehaving, I'm saving all my love for you. Like Jack Horner in that corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for, believe me. I don't stay out late, got no place to go, because all the bars are closed. I'm home about it, 'cause it's just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. For you. Yay. There we go.
So talented. So talented. Such a talented, wonderful group of people. Thank you, Jenny. It may be time to say goodbye to the catch-up crew, everybody. And maybe it may be that time. Catch-up crew. Catch-up crew. We love you, catch-up crew. And we hope we get to see you very soon and hug you and dance with you and read to you and be close to you. And I hope you are being good to yourselves because you deserve it. Bye bye, catch up crew. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.
Night.